Chapter 8. I'll be the first to admit, sometimes we get stuck. Sometimes I get stuck. It's super easy to fall into a pattern and repeat it because, let's face it, change is hard. And anyone who says it's not is lying. Rumor has it that it takes 27 days to create a habit. That's 27 days. You need to be self-disciplined to make a good choice. Let's face it, if you are not making a good choice, then likely you're making a bad choice. Either way, it is a decision. Some people fall into good patterns because their parents instilled them 27 days at a time. Some people fall into poor choices because of the same reason. My mom taught me day after day, year after year, to make God my compass. The only measuring rod I need is where God wanted me to be in today. Because tomorrow is not promised. From time to time, Mom would say or do something, and my dad would say, "That would not make God happy." My dad wasn't saved at the time. My dad wasn't saved when he said it. It stuck out particularly in my head one time. I don't remember what it was, but I do remember Mom doing a double take. And that caught my attention as I watched her reroute her actions, words to honor God. Dad came from a Christian home. Mom did not. Those 27 days at a time add up. Those voices we remember hearing as a child ring true later on. The words we instill in our children will ring for them later on. What words do you want your kids to remember long after you're gone? Mom told me over and over that I have to make good choices even when no one is watching. I won't always be there. And I have been blessed to have my mom for 33 years. Now it's been 35. I hope to have her for 33 years more. But her mom died when she was 27 years old. And every year since I turned 27, I count myself blessed to still have my mother. Being consistent takes self-discipline. It takes one choice daily that will not be neglected. It takes one choice weekly that will always happen. It takes a yearly commitment. You are setting the standard for your life. You are setting yourself up for failure or success. Because life sucks, but it doesn't have to stay that way. People live and people die. Jobs come and jobs go. Friends come and friends go. God is always the same. That relationship can last. What kind of life is worth being disciplined for? Do you want to own your own home? Yes or no? Those things don't just happen. They take planning. They take good credit. They take an okay job to a good job. Do you want to pay cash for a car or a house? That takes planning too. Ultimately, this life is up to you. Yes, some things are out of our control. However, our attitude when we deal with them is in our control. The words exiting our mouth are in our control. Our social media response is in our control. Are you stuck in life? Yes or no? If you are stuck, why are you stuck? What can you do today to make a better future for tomorrow or next year? Pick one little thing to be consistent about and do it. Make the one thing an attainable goal. Maybe laying out your clothes the night before would make life easier. If that's it, do it. Have your kids do it. Be consistent, be faithful, and do it. Maybe you have a weekly goal. Your kid, you, have an activity and can never find your karate gear or ballet slippers when the time comes. Find a backpack for just the karate gear. Wash your gi after practice and put it back in the bag the next day. Weekly. Be consistent. If you pick the one thing and do it, you'll be surprised how much stress is relieved. I used to lose things all the time. Now, I only sometimes lose them. But I have 5 hairbrushes. I have set places where I put 2 of them and stick to it. Those car keys, I found a place for them. When I moved, I left everything on my desk that was important until I moved my desk to my new used home, and I was able to find the important things. Saying this, I was halfway to the used appliance store to place an order when I realized my cards were missing. I ran through my memory and thought, I don't have a place for my cards at my new place. And I remembered that's why they were at the old place. I felt relieved and I felt silly. However, my self-discipline only left two options, and they were easy to locate. Make life easier on yourself and find consistency. You don't have to be boring. Your routine doesn't have to be nailed down. I try to read my Bible 4 times a year. That's insane. I'll say it. However, I'm a fast reader. Listening to the Bible or reading it daily is a goal I made about 10 years ago. God asked me to read one chapter, the same chapter, daily. I was mad. I threw many tantrums and whined quite well to God, and I felt that heavenly push to be consistent in my reading. It was 1 whole year later, and I reminded God I was done. After all, it had been a year. And God said, yes, now it's time to read the Bible one time in a year. Have you ever thought you were about to win and be finished with a project, only to find out you just got more work ahead of you? That's how I felt at that moment. I didn't read every day, but I read most days. And I think that year I finished up on Christmas Eve. But I met my goal. The next year, I felt led to read 2 times. And I got to third, and a fourth, and then a fifth. Because I found 5 ridiculous, I went back to 4. But if you told me 10 years ago I would have read the Bible 4 or 5 times in a year, I would have looked at you like you had lost it. My point is, God is calling you to do something today. It is one attainable goal. It's one thing you can actually do. It may be slightly uncomfortable, like telling your kid to take out the trash and they stomp their feet all the way to the dumpster, but the trash still needs to go out. And honestly, we all have trash that needs to go out of our life. We all have that habit that needs work, or it's simply toxic for us. You know you. Chapter 8. Apparently I had one more page and I didn't see it. So the question is, what's the one thing you are going to be consistent at? For me, this can be a challenge. Right now, I'm working on writing every day, and it is closing out my Bible reading year. So I am trying to make sure I hit my 4 Bible goal, which is a challenge, but it's attainable. So whatever attainable challenge, whatever in your life that you see a problem with, because we all see a problem with something, what is the one thing that you are going to do today to make that better? Is it getting a dishwasher so you can wash 1 load of dishes? Is it doing 1 load of laundry every day because you know that you have piles, but you can do 1 load? You know what needs to change in your life. You know what's going to relieve the stress. Just pick one thing today and try it for 27 days. Try it for a month. Just see what changes. See if it helps. And if it doesn't, pick something else. And if it does, still pick something else. And be consistent on that too. You got this. It is up to you. Until next time, I love you guys.